Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
The honourable video show looking at all ships from across the galaxy, universe, timeline, alternate design styles, and we got the season finale, Stuart, and somewhat predictable a season finale. And one of the things that I predicted is that D7s would appear in an epic heroic shot, and we'd actually get to see them, probably from the front, because front-facing weapons. Thought it was a safe bet. And so we had to do a follow-up, Stuart, on the D7 Discovery variant / first version of the ship in canon, I guess, proto D7.
Loved it. Wish there would have been a little bit more of it, but I was glad to see it. There's a line of dialogue that Laurel says the D7s are on their way. Send us all the information about the enemy ship or whatever. And then later, they warp in. They don't decloak, which is cool. I love that they warp in.
Cleave ship does decloak, though.
Yeah, well, that ship, I think, needs cloak to be successful in its mission, to cleave ships in half. You can't see it coming.
It's true. It would have been... that ship was huge in battle. It would have been great to see it just warp in, slowly move towards the ships, and everyone's like, move!
Yeah, everybody's moving away from it.
That's true. Yeah, that's funny. But we do get a front shot. We'll get a sense of what it's capable of in terms of at least what it can fire. And what do you think? Apologies for the, it's not incredible resolution, it's not incredible whatever. We get what we get, but I try to pick a good frame. And here is the front of the D7.
It looks great. Honestly, the redesigned engines work better when you see disruptors firing out of them, because they actually have points where that can be a thing.
Yeah.
The front part is still a torpedo launcher, even though in the original TOS it was actually a deflector. It was not actually a torpedo thing until the motion picture, but again, not a big deal. Not a lot of people know that. It's always been a torpedo for a lot of people, so that's fine.
Yeah,
I'm willing to let that go. But the disruptor thing at least makes more sense now. I know you've never been a fan of them firing from the nacelle tips for the D7, but here it works.
Well, actually, there's clearly design disruptors in big... Because we know how big the engines are at D7. They're not huge. So these are much bigger, much more intricate. And so therefore, it makes more... I can buy it because it's actually built in. To say D7's fire disruptors that have no weapon holes in just engines, it always seemed a bit silly to me. But these are big, bulky, and weapony. And in fact, it answers that silly question of how do they fire from the disruptors ports that don't exist? Well, they don't. They fire from disruptor ports that do exist. But it was a... Like I say, it should have been more than one shot. They should have been coming halfway through the battle and done cool things and have cool close-ups and seen the rail do things. I mean, how much money did you spend building this 3D model that looks glorious? It seemed a bit of a underused...
Glorious, good word for a Klingon ship.
Oh, yes.
And that would have been cool to see, the Enterprise and a D7 kind of working together, like flying side by side, or having the Enterprise getting attacked and a D7 swoop in and just barely miss the hull, but take out another ship. That would have been awesome, but didn't get it.
We both agree they focus way too much on smaller drone combat that, for the most part, means nothing. Drones can't damage bigger ships. Do you know why? They never destroy a single big ship. None of the drones at any point, any of the battle, destroy a single big ship, ever. Yeah. So they're clearly under-effective, and yet that's what we focus on, despite it being not interesting, and it also get blown away really quickly. So it would have been fun to have these come in and have, like we said before, have Bird of Praise as well. Maybe they have the 30 ships versus the 2, and they have... Now we have 12 capital ships, but guess what? We've got 7 new D7s. They outmatch the Texan 31, and that takes heat off Enterprise, because you've got to take out the new threats. It's a tactical program. It could see tactical things. From the episode, we know Leland and the Control is an awful baddie, awful at being strategic. There is no strategy. But that would have been a nice little caveat of, if you can imagine, he's in Discovery, he's beamed aboard, and the Klingons warp in, and he does a little head tilt as he knows they've warped in, and he says, target the Klingons, and then he keeps attacking, he keeps physically being in Discovery, and you see Section 1 ships, engage and swap focus. Would have been kind of cool. But that wasn't the point of the battle, to focus on capital ships. But yeah, the front view, Stuart, it's just a D7. It looks exactly the same. You can even see on the right-hand ship, there's the grill. I mean, they took it, they said, we're going to do everything the same except the engines. And it looks great. That's all you need, guys. That's all you need. This proves to you that 60s designs can be modernized, and the design itself still looks incredible.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's great, Yeah.
And I mean, we did get a sense of, and you kind of called this early, but we could get a sense of a Klingon bridge. It's for the Cleave ship, mind you, but it's got a Klingon aesthetic for it, as very much so. Especially the view screen, the displays look good. You can get a real Klingon at a console.
That was such a let's just do this because lol sort of vibe.
So that was neat to see. We didn't see the D7 bridges, unfortunately, but...
Well, okay, so the way it's formatted, they say... So the Cleave ship comes in, decloaks, and then they call the Klingons, and she says D7s are approaching. But in this first picture, the first time we see on Pike's screen, it says in the top left, remote transmission.
Which means she could be on one of the D7s.
Yes. Because why else would you say that? It's just... Because that's that specific text. It's not remote, it was just from there. It's just direct. And in terms of where you put your flag, why would you put your flag in a ship which is decades old, that has very little tactical ability? Yes, it's huge and lots of shields, but on your brand new flagship D7, like, you wouldn't be on the Cleave ship, you'd be on the D7s. That wouldn't make any sense. So, functionally, it makes more sense, but her structure of speaking is, and the D7s are coming in soon. Not, I'm approaching my D7s, but then we only see the inside of the ship when the D7s appear. So it's a weird, like, I don't know what it's meant to be. It's technically implied to be the Cleave, but I think it's meant to be the D7s. They just didn't quite talk about it properly, because as soon as you see, like, the window, it's like, oh, well, now they're in the battle, there's the window. So I was kind of like... But also, it's a very small bridge for a D7. Because if you think about how massive these D7s are now, we know how big a Katinga bridge is. Big. This is a tiny bridge.
Look how big the Cleave ship is. The Cleave ship's even bigger.
Well,
so for a bridge on a Cleave ship, it would be really small.
This is true.
And I never really considered that, but you're right. The remote transmission thing is interesting. Just the line of dialogue, the way it was delivered, it didn't. I felt like she was on the leading ship, the one that came in first and took out. The only one that really took out some Section 31 big ships.
Yep. The only destruction in the entire episode is the Cleave ship doing one thing. It's really weird.
Well, yeah, it destroys 2 ships, though, in one shot, which is nice.
It's nice.
But yeah, no...
And it doesn't do anything else. Even though its whole point, it should be to keep cleaving. Just like keep moving, keep cleaving, you know?
Yeah. So I would totally buy that she was on one of the D7s. It was just poorly executed, if that's what they were going for. Like, very poorly executed, because I never once consider that. I assumed she was immediately on the Cleave ship. And just that line just doesn't work, so... But...
That's a structural thing. Like I say, you could sort of argue either way. Let's assume it's a Cleave ship bridge. Tells us nothing. Like, that's an old ship, it looks like an old bridge. If it's meant to be a D7 bridge... I mean, it's obviously a redress of something. They didn't build... I mean, I said to you last week, are we going to see a Klingon ship bridge? You said no because budget. I said green screen because budget. Might as well. So there's obviously a redress. I don't remember... I can't see what of. Oh, do you think it's the Telosian's base? Because they've got these 2, like, paths either side. They could be like tunnels. This could be like the ford and the tunnel. They've repainted and put new stuff.
Could be, actually. I think it might be from the short with Harry Mudd, the Smuggler's Bridge.
Yeah,
a redress of that set, which is the redress of another set, obviously, but.
Or it could just be a her quarters in Kronos. They're just taking out all the furniture and putting more metal in the walls rather than plants.
Or the prison ship, the cells. That kind of set redress, perhaps.
If they're still standing though.
Who knows?
But in terms of like Klingon design, I mean, it's fine. It looks Discovery Klingon. It's a little bit more Katingrian D7 with the 2 forward consoles, I guess. Although, holographic controls a little bit far. I like the one back console with more Klingon-looking Klingon, because that's very much a classic Klingon-looking console. Again, Discovery versions. We say it all with a caveat of, we know it's not classic, but it's them trying. And I as soon as they popped up, I was like, oh, we're going to see the old armor, like, close enough. Because I called it, if we're going to see it, we might see close-up armor. And it kind of, I mean, his armor's closer.
Mm-hmm. It's close enough. It's a nice blend between actually TNG Klingon armor and TOS. It's kind of got that gold look. It's got more like a shirt feel, like TOS, but it's also got the samurai style sort of. So
at least it's not season 1 Klingons. That's kind of the takeaway. It's not Takuma's everyone uses it but no one uses it stuff.
with the spikes, yes.
Weird spikes. They're super impractical. I love the window. It's just like, there shouldn't be a window there. The bridge is tiny. I realize it right on the front. It's just...
You can see the bridge on the outside, the big red thing. That's what I assume was the bridge window. Anyway.
So it's nice to see. At least we get a sense of Klingon design. Although you pointed out, as before we close out the episode, the weird cognitive dissonance of Tyler being there.
Yes. How's she going to explain the fact that he's not decapitated? Because she did that to impose her strength, as it were, that she wasn't being influenced by this man, this human-looking individual. So she killed her baby and the her mate, I guess. But now he's back. I mean, maybe only a few Klingons know about it. That's kind of my thinking. Like just her inner circle, her family or whatever, that, you know, looked out for the baby as well. Maybe that's the case, but it just seems like an odd power play that most of the Klingon Empire shouldn't know about, because it's going to just throw them in, because she lied to them. So this person's leading us, like, it's just, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's a little bit... I'm sure that he used a private channel, and then this is like her private guard and all that, but it's a bit like they're taking commands from him. I guess maybe this is like her house as well. Although I like how, you know, I watched the red carpet event for Discovery, and the interviewer asked Shazad and Mary, so what are we going to do with your relationship? And they go on about how it's really complex, and we'll really sit developed and elaborate on, we'll get time together. It's like, you got 3 scenes, like 1 episode, 2 more scenes, and the whole storyline was, oh no, we had a baby, oh no, it died, oh no, it grew up, and we're over it.
And we named it, or it got a name eventually. It's a good name.
I always laugh how people in press interviews have to sort of misrepresent to be overly positive. It is part of their job description. So I'm actually going to go back and watch, I think, maybe today or tomorrow, and actually listen to all the comments, because now we know everything, to hear what they all said. I actually download it so it couldn't be taken off YouTube, because, you know, it's just funny to see them back together, because it means nothing now. Like, at the end of season 1, there was so much cool that could have been done with Laurel and Tyler, and nothing cool's done with Laurel and Tyler. Like, no cut to... Remember we were saying, or I was saying anyway, we're going to see Klingons, they see the signals, they do stuff. Nope, did nothing. Completely... Nope. Very strange, Stuart. Very, very strange. Missed opportunities. And boy, Laurel got called in for, like, 3 weeks' work this year.
Oh, I know, right?
Sorry for her.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's make... New costumes every episode, though. You know?
Yeah. Well... That being said, guys,
Sorry,
it was
D7.
great. It was great seeing the D7s warp in and actually participate in this battle. Glad we called that. I'm glad we got to see more of them. Glad we got to see them in some detail. Yeah. So bravo, Discovery guys, you're doing a good job. But missed opportunities, a few of them. Yeah.
And I wonder what's going to happen to create the Cold War. Because in a couple of years, we now have this active Cold War where everyone's a bit like, ooh. And it's like, well, what's going to happen there? Because, boy, we seem to be at relative okay. The fact that, you know, you can risk having... Because now the Enterprise has got detailed scans of... I mean, I guess already had them, but, you know, wow, the big secrets out of the bank. But, yes, guys, Discovery, still, best ship in the show. It's just a D7. You did good. You did good. Well done. And, hey, maybe Season 3 we'll see more. You got the ship. And Eagle Moss, I mean, that will be a much appreciated one, I think. We'll actually see it in detail, and we'll get to the design process. And I'm going to that book, will be like, so they told us to design D7, and we just sort of did D7, really. We knew at the end it had to fire disruptors, so we put disruptor cannons in. It was an easy, just sort of did it. It's like, great! Looks amazing! Yeah.
There's still a few years to upgrade the nacelle design into something more TOS, because, you know, these were prototypes or experimental ones or early ones.
See, that works fine, them being so big. Yeah, that can kind of work. They shrink down. But anyway, guys, top-notch job, D7. Looks brilliant from the start. I know you're worried about certain details not making it through, but even the little details either side of the head on the bottom, they exist still. Like, I'm seeing every detail pretty much exist. So I'm thrilled. No complaints at all. I think it's great.
Yes. And on that note, guys, what do you think of the design? Do you like it? Are you glad we saw them? Or did you just hate them and you want to see the original Season 1 Discovery Klingons coming in? it's not bad being a fan of those ships. They are cool designs, but they're just not Klingon. But put your comments down below. Do you agree with us? Do you not agree with us? Do you hate us? Do you love us? Let us know. We love reading the comments. And that being said, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Like the video. It's very important to either just click that like button or the dislike button. It's fine. And don't forget to also click the notification icon so you get notified every time we upload. We upload a lot of cool stuff. And join us on social media. We got some really great conversations about ships and tech over on the Facebook group, and a great community to talk to. So definitely fun to kind of extend your Trekyards experience into the social media aspect. All those relative links are in the description down below.
Yeah, and you can see the links to the Patreon, the different sites to buy things, the Eagle Moss link site, and all the great things. Just go check, click them all, and helps if you can. If you can't, just join us for our videos, share the videos, and of course on our Subject Lives. Those are really, really helpful. Every little bit of support makes a huge difference, and hopefully you guys will continue to support us even after Discovery is finished and we can't put all that content out. We'll go back to classic Trek and back to the good old days of good old Trek.
That's right. So until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor Guns. Bye, guys.